Welcome back to the X and O Sports Show. We have our second channel in a row with Donovan Davis from Kinston, North Carolina. This is episode 12. How you feeling tonight, Donovan?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, man. Went took care of mom. She's sick and stuff, but got her settled and she's getting better. But other than that, I'm doing good. How you doing, my brother?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. Don't want to let these kids work me to death. But I'm glad to hear that mom's is doing good. We're gonna get right into it. I know you got your notes and you're ready.
Here.
All right. So our first topic tonight for the X and O Sports Show is who is your basketball Mount Rushmore? So in our topic, we have 5 slots, and you have 1 honorable mention. So I'm gonna let Donovan go first, and go ahead.
You be putting me on the spot, Ricky.
Disclaimer is this is your Mount Rushmore. Yeah, this is your Mount Rushmore. It don't matter what nobody else said. This is what you feel and what you believe.
I'm wrong. Mine is whatever. Anyway, there you go. My number 1, the biggest face, is gonna be on the Mount Rushmore. You know how I am. That bad man, King James. Number 1, biggest face on the Mount Rushmore. Got to be. He the GOAT. He the GOAT. Don't be laughing. I know how you are. I know exactly what you're thinking right now.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people I've been a Kobe fan all my life. So I had to make a choice, and you know who my choice was.
Yeah, I know exactly who your choice was.
I can't knock his talent, though. He's still a heck of a player. I can't take nothing from him.
He's getting his chips. He's going to get a chip this year, too.
Well, I'm a Lakers fan, so he better. I hold him to a high regard.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, I'm an NFL fan. I got a favorite NFL team. I love the NBA, but I do not have a favorite NBA team. I have favorite players. So when LeBron retire, I'm probably going to go to Brandon Ingram because he's from my hometown.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram and Zion. Zion played at Duke. I'm a Duke fan. Duke Nation, baby.
Yeah. And so I'm glad you brought it up because, with the Kobe thing, I got lucky because in '96 I became a Kobe fan and he became, a Laker. So I was like, cool. So I had 20 years, and everybody's like, when Kobe retire, who's gonna be your favorite player? I don't have another one. It's only one. I may watch other teams, but I only got one favorite player ever. And so, I always been a Lakers fan, even when we had good seasons, bad seasons when he was hurt. Just so happened that we got LeBron and some other cast members now, so it makes it good to be a Laker fan again. So,
I grew up. My dad's a Knicks fan. I ain't had no choice but to be a Knicks fan.
The Knicks? Oh, Lord.
Who else did they have? That's about all I remember.
It was a bunch of fighting guys. Let me see. Back in the day, they had Jackson. He used to coach Golden State. He was the point guard. You had Patrick Ewing. Who's you had? I forgot the guy. He's a big enforcer. He's got thrown out a couple years ago out of the Knicks arena. But yeah.
Oh, big dude.
Yeah, I can't think of his name saved my life. But yeah, there's some talent. They just ain't win nothing, but yeah, there's some talent.
Oh, I had to be a Knicks fan. I really didn't care nothing about them. I remember Latrell Sprewell and Patrick Ewing. The rest of them, I remember J.R. Smith and them came through, but
yeah, Amon Shumpert was new. Melo got there for a couple years. Yeah, that's the only ones I remember. Like I said, I remember some old heads and nothing really in between because the Knicks ain't been the Knicks in a while. So who's your number 2 on your list?
Number 2, Michael Jeffrey
Okay.
Jordan. He's my number 2. He ain't the smallest head on the Mount Rushmore, but
he's the
second biggest.
Okay, all right.
I give MJ his respects, man, because he did come in and he just changed the league. All the tips he won. How he carried himself with his teammates, how he was an enforcer.
Absolutely.
And with his teammates. So
I love that that thing they put together on Netflix to see behind the scenes of how much of an a-hole he was. I loved it. Yeah. I was like, get into him,
because players can't be like that now.
No, man. When he
And,
punched Steve Kerr in the face, I was like, yes. I didn't like the fact he did it, but
and that
he was able to. I'm gonna push you as far as you will let me.
yeah,
You know,
I think that was the ultimate reason he got out of Washington when he was there, when he was the owner and the player, that type of deal.
yeah,
I remember exactly how it all went together. But it was like, you can't talk to us, as an owner, GM, and then come on court and talk to us like this. Like, it don't work out.
I was like, yes, I
So
can. And if you don't play well, I'm gonna cut you tonight.
I'm like, you could, but my number 3, Shaq Diesel, man.
Okay,
He's always been one of my favorite because he's big. That joker big, and he get buckets.
and he's athletic.
And I ain't never seen anybody break a rim like him.
I'm glad they reinforced the rims there because
That's what I'm saying. They changed him because of him.
he was playing against, I think his name is Ahmad. I forgot his last name, but he used to be like an analyst. And he was like, yo, you ready to see what it's going to be like in the NBA? So he catch Shaq with a jab step, a step back, up and under. And he's like, yeah, big fella, you got to be able to move. So Shaq gets the rock and he hits him with that drop step spin move and dunks it. I think this might be on my Instagram page, but he snaps the rim out. I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, man.
I wouldn't dare. I'd be cut. You gotta go and Shaq cut me.
Yeah, the worst part was like this dude was an analyst. Like he played ball and he hooped, but he was retired. But Shaq hit him with that spin move, and when he brought the house down, you hear the ring pop, and it just came out, everything shattered. I'm like, man. But I'll be sure to look that video up and send it to everybody to follow my page. But yeah, that just had me dying. Oh man. So after the Diesel, who you got as a number 4?
Magic Johnson, going back to your roots, So I know you ain't become a Laker fan in '96. Magic Johnson's a bad man. Bad man back in the day, though. I have to give him his respect, period. I mean,
oh yeah,
I've always liked, Magic game, going back watching his videos and stuff. My man can pass. He can do it all.
and he was 6'8".
He looks so smooth and like nothing bothered him on the court. Like I ain't never. It was like he was just moving in slow motion, but it was so fast and nothing ever fazed him.
Bro, when he did that, it was he came down the lane and did a 2-hand bounce pass through somebody's legs, and my man laid it up. Oh my god, I almost fell out the chair. I was like, can you imagine them doing a run and gun like people do now? And cats, I mean, they were athletic, but they ain't athletic like they are now.
Right.
Whew, man. Yeah. I I love me some Magic. You know what I'm saying? I like Magic and I love this game.
Yeah. 5 championships, man.
Bless his heart. Like I said, he's the best point guard ever to me. But what kills me is the brother couldn't shoot. Lord have mercy.
He could shoot, save his life.
Nah, he hit you with that. He'll hook you to death though. He hit you with that. Come to the elbow, hook left, hook right. But most of his stuff was like at the break, going through the lane, free throws. Like he had a good game, so it wasn't like he couldn't play. Yeah. But if he had like somewhat of a mid range, I think he'd have been giving you 30 a night easy just off of shooting. But so who is number 5?
Number 5. Kobe Bean, man.
Okay. My man broke into the Rushmore.
Yeah, no doubt. If you asked me before he died, he probably would have got in there.
I remember he did an interview and they asked him about his life. Matter of fact, I actually bought this book right here.
Oh,
yeah.
Mentality.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant is actually the introduction is by Phil Jackson. And the dude that did all the photos in it, he was actually like the Lakers photographer, and that whole last year, he just photographed his life that year on the court and all that stuff. So it's actually pretty cool. I only got 2 books on my desk. One is the Kobe Bryant one, and the Barack is the Promised Land. But I like that he was given in depth of what was going on in the White House. Like, everybody don't have to respect his politics, but I like that he was given something that we can't see or his everyday life. Yeah. So like that's the part I liked about it. Everybody's not gonna agree with the other part, but
Yeah.
So who is your honorable mention?
Bill Russell.
Ooh, yeah, Bill
Russell. I wanted to put him in my top 5, but just
it's hard.
My era, yeah, 11 championships. So,
tell you, man,
honorable mention.
That's tough because like, is it the top 10? Somebody always gonna get left out. So like that's the hard part. Everybody like, oh, you left this player out. That's why it is your Mount Rushmore. It ain't the NBA's, So all right, so yeah, it's my turn. My number one. Everybody already knows. They follow me. You know what I'm saying? The Mamba himself is my number one. I got, I had to get the 24 out tonight. I got the 8 as well, but that was the throwback one. So I got the Mamba.
I've been trying to get one, but they're like $5,000. I can't get one.
Oh yeah, you didn't get one there. I bought that in like the 11th grade. So I got Kobe Bean. You know what I'm saying? Hands down, to me, he's the most competitive person I've ever seen. Everybody's like, Michael was competitive. Michael was competitive, and he would try you in anything. But Kobe's mentality was just a little different than mine, because if you ever look at Kobe physically against Mike and him, Mike is a lot bigger than Kobe. Like his shoulders are more broad, his hands are bigger. Even Phil Jackson said it. But if you like, Kobe was like, the things that he had to make up for, like Kobe before he would do his 2 hours shoot around, whatever. But before the game, he would go in there and watch shark videos hunting. I'm like, what? He'd go out there and kill every night, and I'm just like, bro, there's something wrong with that man.
The dude, mine is just on a different level. Like he's just connected to a source that we never got connected to. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, yo, that competition, like he took it way further than most people. Yeah. So I was like, everybody was like, oh, well, he got one less than Jordan. Okay, but let's be real. If I pull up that 2009 and 2010 years and we went back to back, I promise you, and you couldn't tell me too many people outside of Pau Gasol that was on there, but outside Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom, outside of those two, who were some ballers?
Kobe and Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom.
Yeah, we had Bad Knees Banner, Derek Fisher, but I'm just like, come on, D Fish, he give me 6 points and 10 dimes.
Yeah,
he
get some good defense.
Yeah, he will, but he
ain't
he didn't give me 20.
Right.
If he does, it's a hot night. He open. But like I said, the most competitive ever, and also, in order to make my list, you just gotta have some dog in you, And I felt like every time, like if he just chilling and somebody piss him off, he was like, okay, don't worry about it. I think Iman Shumpert was like, he said something to Kobe in a game, and Kobe looked at him. He was like, "You had a good game." And Iman was like, "What you mean? The game's still going."
It's over for you, bro.
Kobe dropped 40 on him after that, and he was like, "Yo,
your game is over."
He was like, "Yo, what's going on?" He's like, "Yo, every time I turn around, up and under, foul." He was like, he was killing me, but Iman was like, "Yo, I never trash talk Kobe again." And he was just like, Jordan, those people you don't trash talk. So number 2, of course, my man Kobe had to learn it from somebody. I got Michael Jeffrey Jordan as the number 2 head on my Mount Rushmore. That said, Kobe is the greatest competitor, but Michael Jordan will push every button in your body to get what you want out of him. Yeah. To me, I don't think Steve Kerr would have been Steve Kerr without Jordan, because he went on and played for the Spurs and still won rings, had big shots. But I think playing for Jordan gave him that edge, to be the best he can be.
It was that punch.
Yeah, and that punch in the eye too, because he blacked it.
that punch woke him up.
All right, so my number 3, so probably surprise people, but after they really think about it, it's like, okay, like I said, you gotta have some dog in to make my list.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little dog with a big heart. That's Allen Ezell Iverson.
I'm getting worried though. I'm getting worried about your top 5, but it's your top 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some people gonna be discouraged by the time I get to the end, but hey, it's my top 5.
Exactly right.
And I'm gonna put something else at the end to explain how I came up with this too. So, like I said, Allen Ezell Iverson, also known as the Answer, he just hit hard, And and like because I watched some clips between him and Kobe. He said, "Yo, we were at the top of our game." He said, "I knew I couldn't guard him. He was gonna have to guard me." And Kobe, hey, he's trying to sit in the chair on her, and hey, my man Mamba, but he caught a couple fades out there. Iverson with that heem step back. There's nothing you can do about it. Like he caught Jordan, he done caught many bodies. So
even though he's 4'9", Joker still that boy.
I still think they lying about that 6 foot. He's not 6 foot.
No, he is.
But like, if you didn't come to play, Iverson dropping 50.
He got that line in him, boy.
All night long, and he coming out of there. I mean, guns are blazing every night. And he put Philadelphia back on the map, because to be honest, after Dr. J, did people really respect Philadelphia like that? Ooh. I didn't think they did. I mean, after Iverson, when you had Iguodala, and then after that, just
he balled out, but he never hit the plateau Iverson did.
Yeah, so
the boys got potential now, but
that's it. That's all they got is potential. They ain't gonna do that much. Once they get to year 8 and 9, they could be taking backdoor deals and going to play for somebody like teaming up with Kevin Durant. Like
going to join Team LeBron. So
he'll be a GM by then. So my number 4 is my man Light Bright Larry Joe Bird. When I tell you that man had some dog in him, I used to laugh because they said they were saying like, oh, y'all only think he's athletic and doing well because he's white. No, my man out there dropping buckets. I mean, fundamental too. It won't like no extra hing, no step back. He gonna J you up. He gonna take that long extended step. He gonna lay that thing up. He gonna kiss it off the finger. He didn't dunk much, but he did. But like he also played defense. Now he couldn't check Jordan, but like I said, he had some dog in him. The highlight that stood out to me about Mr. Joe, as I call him, but Larry Joe Bird. He comes down, pushing it up the court. He ain't had no extra sauce. He come with that short wiggle, and he goes and pulls up. Mind you, he's in Curry land. He ain't like at the 3-point line. He's in Curry land. The ball is this far from his fingertips. He lets it go. He looks at opponents. Games, fellas. It just left his fingertips, and he walks the other way. That's Steph Curry stuff down. Larry Bird did it years ago. Game, fellas. He looking at them the whole time, and it goes in. The buzzer goes off. He never knew he made it. He looked at their face and they told him he made it.
Oh, you made it.
And it's the opponents at that. I'll be ready to fight Larry after that. Oh no, we gotta take these. We gotta put the gloves on.
That's almost more disrespectful than T.O. going to the store.
Tell me about it. And
Larry Bird, he's before my time.
Yeah.
Just can't take him serious because he's so not athletic.
It's nothing special about his athleticism.
I know he dribbled the ball. He's like, and I'm like, y'all can't stop him from doing that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that because he only went like a lot of times he could go left or right, but he always went left, and it was like one quick dribble and he's gone.
How?
But it's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, he's not athletic. We got to remember, he beat the Bulls.
He did.
He beat the Pistons. He beat the Lakers. Like
he beat them all.
He a bad man, but this is what got me though. He had to go through the Knicks, a physical, tough team. He had to go through the Pistons. He had to go through the Lakers. He had to go through, Mike Jordan and the Bulls. I was like, he had to go through the toughest times and still got 3 rings. So I was like, hey, man, that's a tough dude, man.
Yeah, especially going through them bad boy Pistons.
Yeah. Whew, man, I still want to fight them. But my number 5 on the list.
My ring getting off. He said,
Number 5, William Felton Russell, aka Bill Russell. You know why? Because he got them rings and things. He got 11 of them things. I only got 2, but But when I tell you, man, when I looked up, so I watched him, and everybody like, oh, Bill Russell, he got a lot of rings, but he played in a different era. I don't care.
Bro, he was a monster.
You know, he was like, well, Tyson Chandler did him in. That's one dude, man. He did everybody in. Yeah. So this is what got me though. So this was I was tripping out on this. Of course, you know, he was known as elite defender. He was like 6'8". He wasn't 7 foot. Yeah. So
he was 7 foot.
His career average, you ready for this? 15.1 points, right? Not bad for a center, because you know guys shoot back then. 22 and a half rebounds. His career average. That's like 22 rebounds. What the who? Not like one season he had career. He averaged 22 and a half rebounds. He gave everybody problems. So I'm just like, yo, this dude was like, yo, he looked like Pac-Man out there giving all the rebounds. I'm just like, goodness gracious.
Ain't nobody jumping.
22 and a half. I'm just like, yo, like, I think his career high was like 25 rebounds. Like, to average 25, that means you got to get 30 a couple times. Like,
yeah, more than a couple.
I'm like, whoo. So my honorable mention is he got a lot of names. The Man of Steel, the Big Shamrock, the Big Aristotle, the Big Fella, the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. He is the most dominant player at his position ever. I don't care about Joel Embiid. I don't care about Cat.
Never.
None of them are going to be as dominant. All of them want to finesse and shoot. Shaquille O'Neal was getting 40 with less than 5 feet from the rim. I mean, he dunked on, what's my man name for the Knicks? I watched it the other day. He dunked on him, pushed him down while going down. My man got so mad, he picked up the ball and threw it and hit Shaq in the back of the head. Well, I gave him a heart for doing that because I'm looking like, yo, Shaq catch me with one of them slow punches. He gonna punch your head off the shoulders. But he was the most athletic big man I've ever seen. When he came out of Orlando, he was unstoppable. And I want to say, was it Horace Grant? Him and Horace Grant played on the same team in Orlando. And oh my God. As a matter of fact, that was the year they beat Jordan in the playoffs. Whew, that was that was wild. But the thing is about my list, I don't know if you noticed, nobody on my list is an active player. That's why your boy didn't make it yet. I didn't put active players up there. That was my, my little disclaimer. Because like when it's all said and done, my Mount Rushmore may change. Larry may get replaced eventually by a Steph Curry or LeBron, or LeBron may make the honorable mention. Depends on how I do it. I'll probably do it again in 5 years. It depends on who's where and how I feel about their game. But
that was a good one though. I respect that 110%.
Yeah, because
the king, the GOAT ain't out there. I still respect it.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't do active players because, like I said, it would have been hard because Russell Wilson, if he had 5 more strong seasons like he doing now, he might just slide up there. I'm like, whew, the dude is playing some ball.
Come on, Westbrook?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That boy, and like, I haven't seen nobody play like that since Elgin Baylor.
Right, people never put him in the top 5, but he gonna be in mine.
Yeah, he definitely will. So, like I said, if Shaq played in this era, right? Imagine everybody like, oh, he don't shoot. I don't care. Imagine people like Draymond Green playing the 5, having to deal with this man. He dropping 50.
60.
Only reason why I say 50 because he gonna be tired and he gonna sit out the whole 4th quarter. He dropping 50 on Draymond. Joe Embiid, you catching up that smoke too. Cat, you too. Like, man, I don't see nobody dealing with him. Even Thon Maker, all he do is play defense. Taco Charleston, whatever his name is, he can't handle him either. That man serving up barbecue chicken like it's a buffet.
man, Taco Fall be done, bro. He's so good.
If Taco gained like 60 pounds, I would give him like, okay, he might stand a chance because he's so thin. But he's a good defender, but nah, man.
What do y'all mean do with Shaq?
He played him different. He couldn't really stop him, but Shaq had to play defense on him, so it kind of slowed him down a little bit. Yao Ming still played well against Shaq, and Shaq was like the only person that gave him problems.
Yeah, Yao Ming was big too, though. He was 300 plus pounds.
Easy. Now, but head and teeth.
7'11", 7'11".
Man, that was a big dude. If he didn't have problems with his feet, I think he would have did a whole lot of damage.
I mean, being that big, playing that many games, you're gonna have feet problems. Jumping up, man, he too big to be doing all that.
Man, I got problems with my feet, and I ain't even played 82 games. So, all right, second one. If you could give any skilled player advice, like I said, if they're playing basketball or football, since we just spoke about basketball, let's make it easy, and we're gonna do a football player. So if they're playing a skill position, what two sports would you recommend them playing outside of football to get them better on an elite level?
Have to be a skill position.
Yeah, because it'll make it easier, because like there's so many sports for big men. Like you can run track for big men, but like taekwondo and other sports come into play. So I was like, I didn't want to make it too broad, because if it's a big man, they can do all types of stuff with hand and feet work. So that's why I use skill player.
All right, so I'm gonna go. What skill position I want to use?
Well, it don't have to be any position. It's a skill player.
Okay, just skill player. Okay, so what helped me? I was a skill player because I was a kicker. I was the biggest kicker in the state of North Carolina, but so I consider myself a skill player, Rick.
Okay.
So what helped me was track, and what helped me in track was track teaches form.
Mm-hmm.
People say you can't teach speed, but that's not true. You can teach speed.
You can't teach 4.2, but you can teach speed.
Yeah, you can teach speed.
Yeah.
It's naturally God given. But if that person like you, I don't remember what you ran the 40, but what you run the 40? 4.6?
When I got to Wesleyan, or after I worked out in that spring?
Either.
So when I got there, I never ran the 40 because it was terrible. So when I got there, I think they clocked me at 4.89, something like that, and that was being nice. But when I worked out with John Glenn, he actually coached for the Seattle Seahawks right now. He was like, "God, son, you run like Woody from Toy Story. We got to work on that form." And so like he had me doing that cheek, touch cheek, touch cheek. And I never get, he worked on my form so much, like I'm walking like this.
Walk like
so
this. Okay,
I was like, okay. And so I pulled my hamstring, but he made us run on 110s out there. So this is after a pulled hamstring. It's cold. He comes, "Hey son, hey, I know you're a little banged up, but we got to get your 40 down. Put that rubber strap on your leg, get stretched out real good, and give me 2 hard ones, and then we're gonna call it a day. You don't have to do nothing else." All right, coach. So he's worked with me individually too.
Yep.
And I think what he wanted to do was to show what he does works. Because like I said, they was being generous with that 4.8 then. So on a pull to hamstring, I get out there, come out the blocks long, hard, get out there. Pull hamstring, 4.72. Okay. He's excited because, like I said, they was being generous with that first one.
Right, better than that 4.8.
So when it coming back into the end of the spring, now going into the summer, he clocks me again right before he leaves, and I break a 4.69.
Yes, sir.
That's in 4 months. Like I said, it was terrible to like, oh, I knew it was gonna do that. To like, I can really run now. So like, I'm just like, okay, they're gonna have to deal with me now. So wait for my camera to turn back on. But that story was great because like you can teach speed. You can definitely teach it. And if you have good technique, that's the difference between, a 4.8, because mine was basically off because I had bad feet work and I didn't know really how to run. But he taught me how to run. And like, he's like, yo, if you're going to run a 4.4 and a 40, you're going to need to get down in 18 steps. He had broke down that even 18 steps. And so like, that's why I be so blown away when I watch these dudes run 4.2s now. I'm like, bro, like he stood straight up coming out the blocks. If he ran like John Glenn taught us, your back don't come up until you about 17 yards down the field. Like that's when you in that overturn.
That's when track comes in.
Yeah. And
getting out of the blocks, your form, because me as a lineman, as a kicker, because we're talking about skill positions, all coaches, they were like, you're going to run track or you're not going to play football. So the whole football team ran track. So they I was quick. I was quick to be a big guy. I was 225, 230. So I came out, I ran the 4x fat, which would be a 4x1, or another 4x fat would be a 4x4. We ran a 4x, and every big man kicker ran a mile or the 2 mile every track meet. So when it came time for me to run a 40 after 3 years of track, I ran a 4.40. I ran a 4.640 at 225 pounds at Elite 8 combine in North Carolina.
I remember that because I remember you was pretty quick when I met you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that track helped me. I tell any young skill person, get on the track team because it teaches you form. It teaches you quickness, getting quick steps out of the block. It just teaches everything. And even on the other end, shot put and discus on the other end of the track, shot put and discus teaches explosion. So so wide receiver, you coming out the blocks, and your Andre Johnsons, your Calvin Johnsons, your big boys come out the blocks, they put them balls on you. Bang, get out of here. That's that explosion from that shot put. You know what I'm saying? You still got that boom. You got that discus, that explosion.
Okay.
Track helps a lot. My other one was wrestling. I was probably a better wrestler than I was football player. I love wrestling, and I did not know how much it helped me until I came out of my junior year, which was my first year of wrestling, because that's when my school first got a program, and then we went, our senior year in football. So I wrestled at 210 pounds. I was like, I can't play offensive guard at 210 pounds. So I got back up there into my 225, 230 weight. And I gradually increased, still wrestling, you know what I'm saying? And got on the field, man. My conditioning, my body control, it was unreal. Just from wrestling that 1 year. There's a lot of conditioning wrestling. It helps my condition, my body control. And believe it or not, wrestling, it helped me develop the mindset of finding the weakness in my opponent off gate.
Okay.
So when I'm on that line, the ball snap. If I'm playing defensive line, offensive line, after that first series, I found a weakness. And I didn't have that until I started wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't play baseball, but I was too slow. I throw my arm out the first time. I throw a baseball now, I gotta put an ice pack on just one throw. You know what I'm saying? So, but I see how baseball transitions into football. Look at your Patrick Mahomes, your Kyler Murrays, your Russell Wilsons. All them boys were baseball players. All of them were pitchers, man. And they sling that rock. You were quarterback.
Yeah, I'm about to say Jeff Samardzija. He's a wide receiver from Notre Dame. He was a pitcher.
Yeah, you play baseball. Y'all boys come out and y'all just got that perfect snap. Weird, like from your Peyton Manning to y'all football players, man. Y'all just got that. So any young player, man, track, wrestling, and baseball, those three sports are send you to the top in football, man. Even basketball, it all transitions.
Yeah, I remember when I played baseball, only thing that used to bother me was it would my release would change coming out of the off season.
Yeah.
So like when I'm playing baseball, like the ball would break at a different angle. And so like I would throw 3/4 in baseball because that was comfortable and I can get the ball out. But when I on football, like they was like, yo, if you got a taller lineman, you have to come over the top. So I didn't break that. I didn't break that habit until I got into college, and he made me throw over the top. So I don't know if you ever noticed, if you ever warming up with me, most people will flinch when I get ready to throw because they look at it coming from the top and it's like it's about to knock you out. But
Yeah,
now
I
it
see
was just the motion. You trying to read it off my hands.
you threw the ball too hard. Yeah. Wow, Rick, why you throwing the ball so hard, bro?
I never forget. I thought I threw the ball hard until I my second year playing quarterback for Wesley, and I met Josh Meeks. Yo, this dude, like it wasn't like he was trying to throw hard. Like he warmed up and the ball will whistle. So I would make a receiver like, hey, you want to catch that. I'm not catching that. I don't care if I ain't playing today or not. Like, and so the receiver got to put that and like once we start throwing 25 to 30, like 25 yards, I'm like, hey, Bo Jordan started today. I'm not throwing 35 yards to warm up. No, I'm good. I done threw all practice too this week. Nah, he out there 50 yards. He went a foul.
Let him rip.
And it's 9 yards high. I mean, it's not high. I mean, it's like 9 feet off the ground, a rope area. A pow. I'm looking like, bro, y'all got it. I done walked over there, got me some pecans and everything. I'm like, y'all got it. But what is your second sport? You said track, and what was the second one?
My second one was wrestling.
Okay, wrestling. Okay, gotcha. Now I wrestled for all of 1.5 years.
Oh, man, best experience of my life, man. I'll never change it. And to be honest with you, instead of me going to Westland, I should have took my wrestling scholarship and went to UNC Pembroke. I should have. I kind of regret that, but I don't, because I met y'all boys and we had a great. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's tough.
Man, I never forget when I wrestled. I came right off of football. I'm thinking I'm tough. Boy, I get out there on that mat. I'm like, I came. I'm like, okay, and they was like,
It's the first minute.
Yeah, and I'm like, they threw me right out there, like, because nobody was in my weight class. So I got to play. I got to match the first week, and so they're telling run the half. Like I was so tired, I couldn't even hear. Like run the half, and I'm like, bro. Yeah, I think I bit my man because he was choking me so bad. I was like, yo, I never forget, this dude, he could wrestle. But by the time 2 months went by and I learned some moves, when I saw him again, it was a different problem. Yeah, because I was 145, but I couldn't wrestle 145 because I couldn't beat out the dude that wrestled 145 for our team. He wrestled all his life. So I had to go 152. So I'd have to wrestle him the second time. But I remember it was somebody from 152, and I got them into the full cradle, and they couldn't get out, and you couldn't tell me nothing after that.
My favorite finishing move was a sickle. I ran the sickle, man. I pinned so many people. I was 46-6 year.
I couldn't even tell you what my record was.
I thought 3 guys, 2 times a piece. One of the 3 guys, I beat him in conference championships. I broke his collarbone.
Oh God.
Yep, I pinned him too. I heard it snap, man. I pinned him. I didn't care. He didn't beat me. Pin dude. But it was so much fun, man. I love wrestling.
Oh God. So mine, like when I look at sports, like when I wrestled for the first time, I was like, yo, football is no longer the toughest sport ever. And so I remember when I played baseball, I ran more in baseball than track in the first month. Like, everybody think, oh, bases? Oh, those bases are 90 feet a piece. We did it like, sometimes 10 to 11 times till we got it right. And then we had to start like from one foul pole to the other. That's 350 feet.
Yeah.
Depends on what field it is. So like we had to warm up and then we had to do everything else. Like eventually track after they ran, for 2 months, they ran more than us. But like I was sore as I don't know what them first 2 months of baseball. But so the 2 sports that I chose, of course, the first one is track. So with track, it helps develop that long speed and endurance. Like I said, I didn't run track in high school, so I probably would have ran 4 or 5 if I did, because to go from what I was to a 4.69 in that short amount of time, clearly I had a lot of room for improvement.
He's
So
a 5 quarterback.
yeah. And don't get me wrong, it was straight line. It won't know a whole lot of that.
I'm gonna run you over.
Hey, I remember somebody was saying something like I couldn't outrun them. I'm like, nah, I said, but I tell you what, by the time we get to that sideline, you can get 2 moves, a dead leg or a stiff arm through the face. That's it. Then if I think you're gonna lower the boom on me, I'm not gonna really take that shot. But somebody like my old roommate, we both know, I would have caught him, especially if he played safety. I know he gonna watch this episode. I would have caught him with that stiff arm from here. Hey, I would have loaded that thing up.
We gotta cut you on the side. Like, already here. I know him, boy.
I remember I wanted to jump into Oklahoma drill with him because he was talking so much trash for a camp, and Willa wouldn't let me do it. But I didn't want to. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want to get hit by nobody else. But I was like, yo, I'm gonna show this dude. I've been lifting all summer. I wanted to show him so bad. Willa was like, you don't get out of there, because like in camp, like we throw a lot of passes. So like you need 4 quarterbacks in camp because of so many repetition. Like you can't throw your first quarterback out there and take all the snaps for 2.5 weeks. Nah. So I said track was the first one. It helps with explosion, especially if you're doing like triple jump, long jump, the 100, the 200, like that OSHA overturn. So the second sport, I ain't gonna lie, when I like tried to do this, I was wore out. And like people be like, oh man, no, I ain't gonna lie to you. I tell you what, when I tell you I didn't train for it, but I tried to play it. And the fact that these people play it on an elite level, and I started looking into the sports science of it, it's ridiculous. So my second sport that I would get a skill player to play, because it's one thing to have like 4.3 and 4.2 speed, but it's straight line. Anybody can have that speed, but they can't stop and start.
They ain't got no agility.
Yeah, they ain't got no wiggle. Like everybody say, oh well, Tyreek Hill, not Tyreek Hill, it was another dude that played receiver. He was fastest on or what. But Tyreek Hill has a lot of wiggle. Percy Harvin had a lot of wiggle. Percy ran 4.4, but prime example, I'm gonna give you a good example. Jeremy Maclin was a 4.3 guy.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson ran a 4.40. But Deshaun Jackson catch you in open field, he gonna catch you with one of these and get vertical. Jeremy Maclin is not gonna juke you, but if he get a step, he's gone. 2 ACLs or not, like he gone. Like he ran a 4.29 going into Missouri. 2 ACLs later, he was only unfortunately a 4.37. That's still moving. But like this is the difference in like that lateral quickness. So the sport that I would choose for a second sport is tennis. Everybody's like, why tennis? When I tell you I looked at the sports science, so if you ever look at it, like these dudes are hitting this ball and these women are hitting this ball hard.
Real hard.
You got to cover a lot of ground fast. And when I tell you, I'll put money. What's my man? Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Mr. Novak. I guarantee you their cone drill and their shuttle is faster than any NFL player. And you can put your best cone drill. I'll put the 3 of them up there, and I guarantee it's going to be the same or better. Like I said, prime example, if you can run 4.2 or whatever, right? But you can't come in and out on breaks, you can only run about 3 routes. That's because you got to run by everybody. But if you can run that speed and be able to cut, whoo boy, like I said, Tyreek Hill is like the ultimate cheat code. He got moves and he fast.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
You're right on the money about that, because when I transferred to University of Mount Olive, I took tennis as a class.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is different. Like people think they just out here hitting a tennis ball. I'm like, bro, I need a minute. Nah, play doubles. Cause we're playing singles. You're like, play doubles. You ain't getting no break. So I'm like, it's different, especially playing just with 2 of you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's different. And I play racquetball every Friday.
Yeah.
It's not tennis, but you hitting a ball off a wall, a back wall, and you're chasing it to get it.
And get that lateral quickness in.
Man. And hand-eye coordination. Because
that's another good one. Yeah.
that ball moving fast. It's coming off the wall. You got to hit it. I mean,
I tell a lot of people like with that, everybody think it's easy to hit a tennis ball. I promise you it's not.
nah.
I hit a tennis ball 12 times. Do you know 6 of them didn't even end in the whole court? Like it was way outside the court.
Yep.
I'm blasting. Boom.
Yep. That was me. I'm a strong neck. I'm a country bunking ox trying to hit everything the hardest I can. He was like, calm down, big guy.
Yeah,
you gotta roll your racket. You gotta hit inside that square.
Yo, I wish you could have seen me out there. I was like, that's why I had to start out to keep it inside the court. Boop. Now, when I'm loading up for like the backhand, I'm bringing it in. But that serve, I could never get on top of it until I had to learn how to do it.
Yep, had to learn.
But those two sports, I was like, yo, like, of course, you got your soccer that work in endurance, but soccer works on endurance and your feet work, but it doesn't really work on your lateral quickness all the time. Like drills and all that stuff helps. When I tell you, if you can do track and tennis, whew, you're a bad dude or a woman. So moving on, we got the top 5 receivers for the people that's going to be watching. The disclaimer is before y'all start judging, you have to play in the league for at least 3 years in order to make this list. So if somebody ain't on the list, it's because A, they ain't that good, or they did not play at least 3 years. Prime example, Jefferson from Minnesota. He couldn't make my list because he only played 1 year. So,
DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Because I had to scratch it out. I was like, well, no, this will be his 3rd year. We had to scratch it out.
Yeah.
So who you got?
My number 1, man. I don't know if we'll put him in order like a top 5 or just top 5 in general. But I put mine in the order of just random.
Okay.
Not really number 1. Cause I think Devontae Adams would be my number 1 receiver.
Okay.
My number 1, DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh.
He's I changed my mind. He's the best receiver in the league. I mean, goodness.
Talk to me, big fella.
I had my coworker, man. We talked about it, and we get in all discussions. He good. One day I guess we might have him on the podcast, but talking about receivers, I was like, man, DeAndre Hopkins. But he was like, I haven't really watched him much. I don't know much about him. I don't know if he's that good. I was like, huh? Get on YouTube. We sat on YouTube and we watched DeAndre Hopkins. He was like, how do you catch that? I was like, there you go. I was like, the man is crazy. He don't talk. He go out there and go to work.
Do you remember who he played with?
Who he played with?
In college?
No, I don't. No, he played at. No, I don't remember who he played in college. I don't.
So it's not where he played at, who he played with. So he played at Clemson, right?
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say Clemson, but I don't remember who he played with.
He played with Sammy Watkins, right?
Yeah.
And you remember the dude Martavius Bryant used to play for the Steelers?
Yeah, Martavius Bryant.
All 3 of them was on the same team. Yeah.
That's a monster.
And out of the 40s, guess who ran the slowest out of all of them?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Exactly. And he's still running punt return. I digress.
He's a freak, man. Straight up.
So who you got at number 2?
Julio Jones.
Okay.
He's aging up there. But Julio's still Julio, man. You need him. You go to him. He got you. He got you.
You might have looked at my notes, but yeah.
I'm telling you, I love Julio, man. Like my wide receiver is I just love Devontae Adams, my number 3.
Okay.
And, it's a love-hate there because he destroyed Seattle 2019, I think it was 19, in that conference championship game, man. He was the only I think he was the only receiver on the field where I don't think they had another receiver. I mean, the ball was snapped. Aaron Rodgers snapped the ball and threw it to him. I was like, just cover him. And they could. They let him run wild out there.
I remember when who was the number 1 there then? Oh, Jordy Nelson. That's what it was. I was like, it was somebody that kept him like at a number 2 pace for a while. And it was Jordy Nelson. Yeah. Okay.
My number 4, Tyreek
Okay.
Hill. Tyreek
Okay.
Hill himself. This dude, I don't think he's reached his cap. I don't think he's reached his potential yet at all.
He's reached his potential with the Chiefs because he ain't restructured that deal. They gonna get him up out of there.
That's a whole nother conversation, but yeah, you're right about that. But yeah, man, I think he's gonna do big things in the league. As long as he stay healthy,
Yeah.
he keep his mind on the right track. He stay focused. He don't go doing no dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just he stay focused. He'll be one of the best receivers that play the game. With DK Metcalf, but he ain't on my list. My number 5. Oh man, my number 5 is just I love this dude, man. He's such a great guy. You ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
It's Tyler Lockett.
Okay. Yeah. And the thing is, he kind of remind me of a little bit faster Doug Baldwin.
Yeah.
He's a gamer. He's a gamer.
Yeah, he's smaller than Doug Baldwin, but he's a little bit shiftier.
Yeah.
He's not as fast in the 40, but he's definitely an agile, quick guy. I mean, just last year he had 100 receptions for over 1,000 yards, 1,054 yards, man, 10 touchdowns last year. Didn't even know that, did you?
Oh yeah. Oh well, I watch y'all a lot. Y'all play the 4:30 games.
Yeah. Most people wouldn't even know that. DK Metcalf. Okay, DK Metcalf, he had 83 receptions. He had 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns. I mean, we got 2 receivers. Numbers are almost identical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just Tyler Lockett's year in and year out, one of the best receivers in the game. So underrated.
I like Lockett because he did it before Metcalf got there. Matter of fact, he was there when Doug was there.
Yeah, he was there when Doug Baldwin was there. He was there when Ricardo Lockett was there.
His hands are underrated too, because I seen him make a couple catches. I'm like,
remember that one zone where I was like, he out of bounds. They were like touchdown. I was like, ain't no way.
He hit them Tony two toes.
He looked like a dolphin. I was like, he ain't catch that. He caught it. I mean, he got great hands, man.
That's quick concentration, and his hands ain't that big, so that's all concentration.
Right.
But okay. So that's your top 5. All right. So I'm gonna go from 5 to 1.
Okay.
All right. So my number 5, I've been watching him, and he probably got the best feet in the NFL when it come out of his break, like between him and Adams. But I think he might have Adams because Adams do a whole lot of the line. He gonna give you one jab, get vertical, and out his break. If you get a chance, I want you to watch this dude. This dude, I mean, like I said, he had an off year. He had a good year this year, but an off year last year before that because of some receiver controversy. And it's Diggs.
Yep.
Play from.
I knew it because he was right there too, man. So I love Stephon Diggs,
man. Stephon Diggs, he got on my radar when he did that walk off with the Saints.
Yeah.
I was like, that was lucky, man. I was like, but then I watched him the following. I'm like, this dude can ball.
That ain't look.
And then when he got out there, like I said, I don't really like the quarterback from the Bills. I always thought that he was gonna be a bust, but he proved me wrong. But the fact that he made that dude look good, whew, he threw a pass, and if I ever get this stuff edited right, I'm gonna put it out there for y'all to see it. This dude threw a pass. It was the corner, the safety, a linebacker, Jesus, and a linebacker underneath.
Linebacker.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, what the? And he threw it in between all of them. When I told you the concentration, and he caught it over the DB's head, caught it, and still got 9 more yards after it because everybody was waiting for him to squat inside. And I'm just like, okay, this dude got some hands. But the fact that he led the NFL week in and week out, I'm just like, man, this dude is balling. But I need him to do it one more time before he move up from 5.
Right.
So, like I said, I'm pretty sure he will. But the thing is, I think he's gonna need some help because everybody gonna start bracketing him if they smart.
Yeah, well, they got that other kid there. What's the other receiver name?
Don't get me lying. But if
Ooh.
I'm playing defense, the other kid gonna have to get off because he ain't. I'm putting an inside, outside, and a guy over the top. They better have a tight end that can run the middle of the field. If not, he gonna have my man gonna have a long day. So my number 4, like I said, the fastest man on the planet, Tyreek Hill. Like I said, he got elite speed. He getting in and out of them breaks for that route running. Cause I thought he was just like, I remember when Ramsey came at him wrong, was like, yo, he only got speed. He a punt return. That's how he made it to the Pro Bowl. My brother, he can come out of them breaks now. And he'll give you that peace sign too on the way to the end zone. Like I said, he got that track, he got that long speed. If you don't double him, it would be a long night. Whew, I tell you, boy. Like I said, Tyreek Hill is my number 4. My number 3, this was tough. Because like now I'm getting to the point, I'm splitting hairs. So but my number 3 is Devontae Adams. So like I said, he came into his own. Jordy Nelson had him at the number 2. And when Jordy he got injured and he had to leave the Green Bay Packers, Devontae was on his own. And people know is Aaron Rodgers, a bunch of D2 and D3 guys, and you got Devontae Adams. That's it. And he comes every night. He gonna play in the slot. He gonna play outside. And the thing is, most people don't really jam him because he's strong, but he his mentor is, if I'm mistaken, I could be wrong, but I know they talk a lot, is Chad Johnson. So now I'd be looking at his feet, bro, like, you know what? That makes sense. Like I said, but he keep DBs guessing, and I got him at my number 3 slot. Number 2. It's funny because that's why I looked at my notes. I'm like, he might have been looking at my notes. I got Julio Jones at number 2. So
3 and 2 the same.
Yeah. So number 2, I got Julio because, like I said, it's only because he got injured this year, but his body of work kept him at 2 because I looked at his stats. Do you know he only been in the league for 9 years? 9, right? Do you know 7 of those times he hit over 1,100 yards? Not 1,000. He hit over 1,100. So I'm just like, in one of those seasons, he had like, it was his first season. It was like 957. So I really couldn't round that one up. But like, man, that's killing it. Like, he's already over what everybody expected already.
He's killing the league, man.
So he big. Of course, he fast and he can jump. The hands is there. I'm glad that he fixed whatever problem he had, because Alabama, that boy, he can have to make some big plays, but he had hands of bricks at times. I don't know if it was like the angle of the ball coming, but once he got in the league, he had that problem. That's the only reason I had him at 2 this year, because he got banged up, and hopefully this year he makes a big difference because he got Calvin Ridley on the other side, so they can't double him no more. So you got this grown man and Lil Ridley out there getting 10 touchdowns a season. So my number 1, it's a bad fella. Now his mentor is Chris Carter. So Chris Carter, to me, outside of Larry Fitzgerald, I'm gonna make sure I look really into the camera. Outside of Larry Fitzgerald, Chris Carter had the best hands on the planet. That brother can catch some footballs. And his mentor, and so before I release his name, he gave him techniques to stretch the webbing of his thumb to make his hands expand to be able to catch the football better. And so he do like grip exercise, like he'll take the football, like, yo, you got to take it out of my hand. Like they had it like a tug of war with one hand to make his hand stronger. My number 1 receiver is D-Hop, hands down, big hand. Like he got big hands, but it ain't like Kawhi Leonard hands, So the thing is, he's my number 1 receiver. He got traded and he was still the best receiver in the league. And they sent him to Arizona. I'm like, because if you're still good, I'm not going to trade you inside of my conference. So the fact that he traded him somewhere else, so he's like, I'm going to send him to Arizona. He ain't going to do too much there. And he still lead the league. Whew. Cliff Kingsbury is getting very creative with him. Because I didn't really think that Hopkins was like a bubble screen type guy. Because, he runs, I'm going to keep it going, but I'm going to restart this camera again. He runs 4.57, but he's very quick. Like I said, and you not gonna walk to the line of scrimmage and put hands on him. Good luck with that. He hit you, he'll step back. And like I said, he's very strong coming out of the break. I think that with Cliff Kingsbury's offense, they keep him from being double teamed. And two, when you decide, I'm gonna walk down the line of scrimmage and I'm gonna put hands on him, good luck. I remember he played against Dallas and he ran what they call a deep over. That's a long developing route. He catches it with a man on his back. Get off me, little fella. See a dude coming, spin move. See another dude, spin move, and then he breaks. Ha. And then, like I said, he don't run 4-2 now, so I ain't think he's gonna get away, but he gave out a gas because he was tired. But the fact that I think he went a whole 2 seasons or a season and a half without dropping a pass. That's hands. And he got strong hands because he mossed like 4 dudes on a Hail Mary last year. And I'm thinking like, first of all, when I looked at the play, I'm thinking like, nobody else thought that he won't get the ball. Like he rolled to the left.
He gonna get the ball. I'm going with him.
He rolls to the left. He ain't but so big so everybody can see him. He gets all the way to the line of scrimmage and flings it like a rubber band.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, ain't nobody but D-Hop, 2 refs, and 4 defenders over there.
That's it.
Man, they would have got a pass interference out of smoke D-Hop. Nope, get that flag, ref.
1 yard line.
Hey, we would get it to 1 yard line. I dare him to call a quarterback sneak. We putting both D tackles on top of him too. But I'm just like, they got 4 people got mossed, and they was like, oh, that was luck. No, this is what he does. D-Hop is a grown man. But like I got him at number 1. Like I said, it was splitting hairs at 1 and 2. If Julio to get banged up this year, it could have been, flip-flop. So now this one, so I gave you a 1, 2. So I gave you 3 topics. Now this one, we always do one off the dome. So this one is gonna be real interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and write mine down right quick. So this one is, who is the 2 best athletes you have ever watched live?
Ever watched live?
So you can put Nick Cooper, Percy, or whoever you've seen live.
The best I ever seen live.
Best athletes.
They ain't gotta be in the NFL, right? I mean, they don't have to be in the NFL.
Okay.
No. Kendrick Burney. I don't know if you remember Kendrick Burney.
Yeah, I remember him playing for UNC. I hated his guts. He was killing my Miami boys.
Bro, I played against him in high school.
So what did he play in high school? Because he didn't play corner. I think he played quarterback, didn't he?
He played quarterback, cornerback, linebacker, defensive line. He played safety. He played safety when he was quarterback safety when he played us, man. And we were killing I think we started out 6-0 when we met. I think 6-0 we met up with them. Mm-hmm. And we were killing the conference. Met up Southwest Onslow. And I've heard of Kendrick. Coach told us about Kendrick, whatever. He's good. He's shifty. Well, okay. We're gonna handle him. Nah, bro. I seen our quarterback Brandon Rouse wind up bomb. I'm talking about a bomb down to Joseph on the sideline, man. And Kendrick turned around and jumped up. And I'm not exaggerating. Rick, I'm a good 5'11", 6 foot. I'm at the bottom line of the 6 foot where the great bro. When I looked up, his feet were at the top of my helmet. I'm not exaggerating, bro. He picked the ball off and took it to the house. I've never played against or seen an athlete in person do the things he did that night. I think he wound up with like 6 or 8 touchdowns or something like that. But by number 2, let me see. Probably Todd Gurley, man.
Okay.
Todd Gurley. I went and watched him in a playoff game, and I went and watched him in a playoff game at East Duplin. I don't know. Most people might not know East Duplin, but they're a powerhouse. They're a 2A powerhouse always, every year. Todd Gurley drug. When I say drug, literally. I've seen people holding on to his his leg, he dragged him to the end zone, bro. Every time he took the ball.
I'm glad you brought him up. But I came from Hertford County. So like when we heard like 1As and 2As, we were like, we were a 3A powerhouse. Like only teams that gave us trouble, were the big teams at that time. So like New Bern pushed our head in the mud.
New Bern ridiculous, but they were 4A though.
Yeah. So we would scrimmage against them to like practice against elite talent so to make us better.
Mm-hmm.
What was Independence that we really couldn't run with them either.
That's ridiculous.
But like anybody that was around our talent level, we could beat them. Like Rocky Mount, we could play with them, but we always screwed it up and we would lose. But like they weren't better than us. I don't think they were. But when I saw Todd Gurley on tape, I never saw him in person. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, "Oh man, Todd Gurley from Tarboro." I watched him on tape. I'm like, I'm from? Bro, we see dudes like that all the time. Now, like I said, I only say that because he played for a 1A team. I didn't really know about 1A powerhouses that can actually play. So like, I'm used to like 3A, 4A. If you're 1A, we'll put you on the schedule just to blow you out. So only reason why I said that was because years before Todd got there, we would put Tarboro on our schedule and we would blow them out. But I never forget, Plymouth. That's what it was. We used to play Plymouth because they had the same colors. We put Tarboro up there on my sophomore year. And I was playing JV. We beat Tarboro. So I don't know how much older I am, Todd Gurley, because I'm 32. So Todd might have been in middle school. We beat Tarboro, but my varsity team didn't play them like we did. So our coach was like, "Hey, we practice without a football." They was like, "Yo, Scott Privet said, when I snap this football and you see the center snap, you're not gonna see a football. You need to attack everybody in the backfield because they ran that wing T and they 001." So I'm just like, okay, so like I'm playing defensive end, dude. I'm like, bro, like how are we gonna play these dudes? Like we ain't got a football. He would not let us practice with a football. He said and we would do up downs if somebody made it out of the backfield. We like I said, we didn't have a football that we just saw people running. We practiced that way. And everybody had to get hit. And if that quarterback bootlegged out and nobody put wood on him in practice, up downs. So I'm like, okay. So we get there and we play Tarboro that same way. We didn't care who hit the ball because we tackled everybody and we beat them. Now we beat them like 28-18. It was like no blowout. Man, they played our varsity that year and wore their hind parts out. It was dudes running free everywhere. I think the fullback hit 150 on us.
It was really easy. I remember the first time I played Tarboro. What year was that? It might have been my sophomore year. Man, the first snap, the kickoff, because I've never seen a powerhouse like Tarboro, like, coming from middle school, whatever, my first year in high school, whatever. Anyways, and I'm talking about grown men, Rick, they look like you. I'm on their baby face. I still can't grow no facial hair. But we all baby faced on my team. These dudes got goatees, beards hanging out the bottom of the chin straps, and the ball is kicked off, and we receive it. And bodies started flying. It was like, wow, 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 wow. I'm just seeing all bodies fly everywhere. I just seen them play. They beat the brakes off us. They were men. They were men.
Well, all right. So who is your second player that is the most athletic person you ever seen in person?
Todd.
Oh, you got Todd and you got Kendrick Burney.
Todd and Kendrick.
All right, cool. So I got two and I got an honorable mention. And
my honorable mention is Brandon Ingram.
Okay. I never seen Brandon. I always watched him on TV.
Yeah.
So I never forget, and I hate to say this because he's a rival, but this dude, I watched him play in 2018. This is Saquon Barkley. So I drive up to the Giants Stadium. I'm an Eagles fan. I come out there, I'm talking trash, So I never forget, we're up by like 14 points. I'm all like, we get one more stop, get a field goal, we're gonna close this game out, right? I see Odell Beckham is on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But we already know what Odell's gonna do. He can run about 3-4 routes. We had all them covered, right? And he did catch us a couple times slipping, but okay. I tell you what, but Eli Manning did look old on that field though. Like when I tell people, like when you see people live, they can't cover up how old they look. Eli looked like he was running in quicksand. It looked bad. So Saquon Barkley runs a stretch play, right? And we know Graham knows like, okay, I'm gonna get the tackle and I'm gonna rip his front arm, his front chest with this side, and I'm gonna keep him upfield so Saquon have to cut it back. He does. So Graham done his problem. He done his job. I think it was Bradham, whatever his name was. He goes down and breaks down and whiffs on Saquon Barkley. All he has to do is slow him down, and the safety is gonna come clean him up. Malcolm Jenkins. He gave Malcolm Jenkins a dead leg. And so I'm looking at the play, and they're like middle of the field. And I go to text, like to try to open my phone up to take a picture. Saquon Barkley is in the end zone. Bro, because I was talking trash when he got drafted. I'm like, bro, he is not that fast. Because they said, he was like, yo, I'm upset. You only ran 4.3. Not, bro, you ain't that fast, bro. Like, I watch you play at Penn State. When I tell you he's a 4.2 guy, he is not lying. He can run. Like, it was like this. And he was in the end zone. That's 50, and he juked 2 people. When I tell you that, man, he old black better that thing. Woo, wait, he can move. he was moving. I'm looking like, yo, I got to take my head off of him. That dude can run. The second person, like I said, I'm always hard on him, but dude is a freak. I saw him in person. I'm looking like, yo, is he really that big? Yes, he is that big. It was Cam Newton. I watched Cam play. It was a free game because I had to pay for it. So one of my buddies that I used to work with, he got me free tickets, and it was Cam Newton's rookie year. So they had a bad year that year. Yeah. So the year coming up, like they were having a decent season. So I got free tickets, and I'm like in the end zone on like the 6th row. Yo, Cam is every bit of 6'5.5". So they ran the read option, right? And his back is to me. He's at the 20. So I'm in the end zone. You know, he takes the snap, he rides a he gets up the field and he gives my man a hand fake. When I tell you he covered 80 yards of grass quick, he was moving. And like, his stride like 7.5 yards.
I'm an athlete, man.
That safety took a bad angle and it was a track meet. Like, I know Cam ain't number like 4.5, but 4.5 with that stride, nobody got within 10 yards.
Green speed.
I mean, I was like, woo-wee. Now, this honorable mention, a lot of people didn't really get to see him. I got to see him up close in person. Now, I saw his highlight before I played when I was in high school. And I'm like, oh, okay, that dude's pretty shifty. But to see him in person do the things he did, it's Teron Bush from North Carolina Western College. One of the most freaks of nature I've ever seen in person.
Bro, in person? Oh, my goodness. Like, watch him at practice, bro. I'm like why is he playing D3? He's supposed to be in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you said that. So I'm not gassing him up because he's my friend. Like, I didn't know Teron like that.
Right.
Until like later on. When I never forget, we were playing, I think it's Maryville. This is when I got to know him. So I'm standing there. I'm like, oh, we got one offense. So I got my helmet off. I'm like, I'm gonna see something. And Teron catch the sweep. He running. He always look big up top. He ain't that big up top though.
Right.
And so like dudes will always go low on him. Like they would not hit him high. And so I'm watching, and he's looking at this dude out of the corner of his eye, and dude goes to like he's gonna hit his legs.
Yeah.
But he didn't get a chance to. Teron rolled up on him quick. When I tell you, when whatever that lady name is that took the pictures, when she took the picture, do you know my old buddy only had this much bend in his knees? He was standing up. Teron clears him.
I remember that.
He closed his eyes.
He went over him
and grabbed Teron's toe with his shoe, and Teron trips. But he cleared him. Like his foot is left, and he's like, and clips his foot, and that's he rolls, and then that's how he gets him down. But if it weren't for Jesus and green grass, that would have been over. Cleared all standing human. This dude was at least 5'10". Like, he wasn't no short dude. And
he was so explosive though. When he hit that thing, boy, I was like, wow.
And the weird thing about that is, like, if you look at him, he didn't ever look like super athletic, like, totally ripped and all that stuff, but like he had real big calves. Like he was cut up, but he didn't look like DJ Metcalf. But like when I tell you he can get up, and like he's still around 4'4". And I seen him run what we call ace, which is like an inside run, and you can break the crease. And I see him break that thing back, and the linebacker had like overran it. And all I see is that was when he wore 22. He out there moving. and he dove from that 7-yard line and made it. I'm like, oh man. Like I said, those 3 guys, I haven't seen everybody in person, but I'm going off of what I saw with my own 2 eyes.
That's it.
Those dudes, they can play some ball. And
that's how it was with Brandon Ingram when I was like, they were like, oh, Coach K's coming. Coach K's coming to watch Brandon Ingram play. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay, we got another player, Kansas High. He's gonna be okay, whatever. y'all hype these guys up. Bro, when I seen dude, I mean he was skinny, but unstoppable, bro.
Yeah, he could hoop.
Unstoppable. And since when he went to Duke, he came back. I seen him at Walmart, talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
Humongous. I was like, bro, did they inject you with straight protein, they do? His hands were like that big, bro. He shook my hand. I couldn't even see mine.
Oh yeah, he's a big fella now. He could hoop too, because I saw him when he played for the Lakers, and then I saw how his game changed when he went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
But before we run too long, give everybody your social media stuff one more time. What was it the Xbox, the Facebook? Xbox. Oh no, Xbox. I'm sorry. Your PlayStation.
PlayStation is Turbo Monster DSM. That's my gamer tag on PS4. If y'all want that smoking Madden, and look, I'm one of the guys. I run my favorite team. I run with Seattle. I ain't gonna go and pick the Bucks on you like everybody do me. I ain't gonna go get Lamar Jackson run around. I'm gonna get Russell Wilson, slow tail, and I'm gonna run. I'm gonna beat you down.
I mean, ever since 2008, I always ran my Eagles. Mm-hmm. We ain't had matter of fact, when I played you in college, we had Kevin Curtis, Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook, LJ Smith, and Brown. Nobody knew who Brown was. He was 88 speed, but Kevin Curtis was 96. But by him being white, nobody really paid him no mind. So I used to dog people with that squad. Like, don't get me wrong, we had a hit squad for defense. But between Westbrook, Kevin Curtis, boy, I used to do people in. But like I said, I haven't played in a minute. I haven't played since Madden 20. So once I fix my HDMI cable on my TV, I probably, get back into it. You still there? You still there?
You were dog. I'm still there.
Oh, okay. What you say now?
I said, yeah, you were dog them Eagles now.
If I catch them shoulders not swell with Brian Dawkins,
Sean Alexander ball hot.
Boy, Sean Alexander used to give me all types of problems. I used to have to 2.0 him if it wasn't with Brian Dawkins.
I love the Madden, man. Instagram, I guess it's Donovan Davis. No, D Davis, I think. D Davis on Instagram. If you send me a message on Instagram, I might respond a week later, but I'll get you. You hit me up on Facebook, Donovan Davis, Facebook, man. So y'all want that smoke? I also run a Madden league, pretty good league. So if y'all want to get in at PS4 though, we'll be on PS5 and Madden 22, but just that's it.
All right. Well, I'm about to say, once we end this recording, I'm about to hold on for a second. But this is the episode, and we're out of here. And if you guys get a chance, make sure you check us out, give us a like and a comment, and we are out of here.